all know what time it is. I'm talking about sketchbook tour time. Hi, my name's Sabina. Welcome to my channel. Today I am showing you my 5th installment in my sketchbook tour series. I have 11 sketchbooks total. I realized I had enough sketchbooks to show you one every month for the rest of the year. So that's what I'm doing. And this is the 5th installment. I finished this book in 2017. I was beginning my spiritual awakening. I didn't know what it was yet, though. I'm just starting to see the pieces kind of like come together. Going through it, realizing, oh, I was cooking before I even realized what was going on. This time in my sketchbook journey, I was still using them very much as journals. I hadn't started my dedicated journaling practice yet. I was kind of just incorporating it into this one book, which was probably smarter for past versions of me because now I have like 8 books that I'm working in and it's like, where do I even go? One thing about me is I love a notebook, I love a sketchbook. So this was just, one step along the journey and the evolution of me as an artist. I have to admit, I love going through these old sketchbooks. And to me, it's just like revisiting the past. It's just showing you the art that I was making during this time of my life and kind of how I was seeing the world and navigating through things. And I found my sketchbook and my journal to be a very healing place for me before I even really started on my healing journey. Also interesting to see the kind of person that I once was because I was not always the person that I am now. Like I've mentioned in every video I've ever made, it seems like I went on a healing journey. I survived narcissistic abuse and I healed, and I'm somebody that I actually can say I like these days, but I did not like the Sabina who existed during this time. And looking back on that, I can feel a lot of compassion for my past self. I'm so thankful that she kept with this whole being alive thing so that we could be here together right now. At any point in your life, you can change, you can grow, you can heal. You just have to allow it to happen and be willing to feel the pain as it comes up. Because here's the thing about healing. You're probably healing because you're hurting. You have an option to continue hurting forever and be stuck in the same cycles forever, or hurt a little bit more for a lot less time and then it doesn't really hurt anymore. I'm not sitting around tripping on my old abandonment wounds like I once was as a younger woman, I am worthy. People do love me. If you had asked Sabina during this era of my life, she would have been like, you're crazy. I am the scum of the earth. So I just wanted to share that little bit because if you're somebody who, struggles with self-esteem, is thinking about doing some kind of somatic healing technique, I highly recommend it. I went through EMDR therapy and it did wonders for my mind, body, and spirit. Going through this sketchbook just reminded me of where I was and how without the healing journey that I went on, I wouldn't be where I am, but also without her, I wouldn't be where I am. It all leads to the next thing. It's a multi-layered cake, as they say. I'm going to suggest for the next little chunk of time, you sit down, you make yourself a tasty little beverage, and you just enjoy yourself. Be present with the video. It doesn't last that long. If I'm talking too slow, put it on 2x speed. Just be with me for a few minutes in watching a real-time, real-life evolution in the making. For today's beverage, I am drinking a Magic Mind with a little bit of milk. A few weeks ago, Magic Mind reached out to me and said, hey, we want to share with you our product, send you some, let you try it, and let us know how you feel about it. I have to admit, I read the ingredients and my curiosity got the better of me, and I can confirm it is, in fact, everything they say it is. It is a mental performance shot. Let me tell you about the ingredients that make it so that it is that. We are looking at green tea in the form of matcha, and that's where the caffeine comes from. The original formula is 55 milligrams of caffeine, so it's a little bit of boost. To me, it hits the spot of that afternoon sleepy, but it doesn't get me wired and jacked and kind of groggy the way that caffeine from coffee does. It has adaptogens and nootropics that are designed to help the cells that are in your body, that already exist in your body, work a little bit better. Cognizant cytokinin. Cytokinin already exists in your cells. Helps your cells communicate with each other, and this just gives those connectors a little bit of an easier time. The adaptogens are what really sold me, truthfully. Bacopa is nature's Adderall. I've taken it during many different periods of my life, and I can confirm that it does work, but I have to admit, taking a handful of pills for me is something that I find rather difficult to remember to do. So this has a bunch of them in one little shot that you can incorporate into your routine via a nice little treat. Also working with ashwagandha, which will help soothe and calm your nervous system. And then there's rhodiola. I really like it. It gives me a clean, clear focus. And I will admit it is an appetite suppressant, so you do need to be careful and make sure that you're eating. You're using this as something that helps you get work done. Your brain is the thing that like makes you go, right? And it needs nutrition. So it's gonna need carbohydrates and it's gonna need protein. And I've figured out a way to put this together in such a way where I feel like you can kind of just get the whole thing done at once. If you want to just drink the shot and get it over with, have a little snack with it. A few cubes of cheese, a little ham and cheese roll up, whatever feels right. Get those carbs in, get those proteins in so that your brain can work well with the little booster. Easy, simple. Or if you're like me and you like cow's milk, I do the Magic Mind shot, and then I pour a little half and half on top of it. Sometimes I mix in a little fruit jelly. That's freaking delicious. Today though, I just have straight up Magic Mind and a little, like maybe half a cup of half and half. It's so good. I feel like the fattier milk has the carbohydrates my brain needs, it has the fats my brain needs, and it has the protein that my brain needs. In addition to the adaptogens that are in this drink that actually are like helping enhance my cognitive abilities, I feel like we're just like working together, you know, mind, body, spirit. You have to take care of your body, you have to take care of your mind, you have to take care of your spirit, and it all comes together and you just get to like exist and enjoy life. So take care of yourself. And if you would like to try Magic Mind, please use my code down below. You can find the link, use the code SabinaJune50 and take 50% off your first subscription order or 20% off your first one-time order with my code. Fix yourself a little beverage. Come sit with me for the next few minutes. Maybe it'll inspire you to make some art for yourself here later today or this week or sometime in the future. I don't know what your business is. That's none of my business. So let's get into the video. All right, y'all, let's get into this. For this one, we have a fatty. She's a fatty. And I keep saying this like, oh, this is when my sketchbook practice really takes off. But I think at this point, this is when I'm like really in the flow with it. I'm being intentional about collecting stickers from places that I go. Yeah. It's pretty cool. So funny, like going back and looking at old sketchbooks, I can smell the time in my life from this. It's like very much, I'm in college, at the end of college. Austin and I had just really started dating, like a year in maybe. And I just am smelling what it is like to be a 21, 22-year-old woman. Oh, he's so sweet. I'll just cover up my personal information. Yeah, we were doing a lot of traveling this year, apparently. I think I had started doing craft fairs. Had started to transition from journaling in my sketchbook to journaling in like a real journal, but I think there's still quite a bit of journal entries in this. Truthfully, at this point, I have not cracked open this book yet, so I don't know what to expect. I guess we'll find out together. Austin used to collect me flowers, and here are some that I stapled into this book. I had gotten my business license at this point. That was kind of a big moment for me. Thought I'd never go back, but here we are. I was trying to get a job at Camelback Flower Shop. I did end up getting that job, by the way. I worked at Camelback Flower Shop for a few months. This was before I got Cheese. I was living with my roommate's cat, Milo. He was really a very cool cat. And kind of starting to work in this abstract landscape-esque style. My Home Depot list. Okay, I lied. I was actually still very much using my moleskins as journals, and I'm curious, like, I think I had also started to integrate writing backwards. So like this is technically the front of the book, but I'm left-handed. So like flowing backwards was something I started to play with during this sketchbook. Oh. This is Austin if he were to have gotten his face fucked up. No joke. I'm not somebody who draws people very well. Manifest your destiny. I think my spiritual awakening had started during this. Oh, How cute. Look at how cute he is. I mean, really, look at how cute we both are. Aw, I'm going to pull one out. I'm going to keep one in here and pull one out and hang it up because I think we're cute. I've been looking at a lot of old pictures lately and just realizing, like, we are so cute. I actually did a whole painting kind of like this that I think I'm going to pull it out for an art show. Austin drew this. And I drew this. 2018. Yeah, I was still journaling heavily in this sketchbook, apparently. And the snakes. I started with rattlesnakes, and then we'll talk about the snakes later. It's all going to be okay. The first of the hands. It's kind of cool. I was drawing a lot of plants. I was obsessed with plants. Like, truthfully, my relationship to plants is something that actually kept me alive. Aww. I'm gonna cry. Go jump off a cliff. This one's just going really fast. Like, I don't really have that many notes because truthfully, I don't have much to say. It's like a lot of journaling. Like, I obviously had started some kind of healing journey. I had a massive ball of ganglion cysts in my wrist that I got removed. That was like right after I graduated college. And then I think I was starting my spiritual awakening at this point, honestly. Like, I was starting to take care of myself energetically and physically. Researching angel numbers. 222 was the one that like really came to me first and started cracking me open. The snakes, kind of just in passing. This was before I had moved into my house at Taylor Street and had like a real full mystical experience with snakes. I was drawing stuff like this, just like really feeling connected to serpent energy, not really understanding what was happening. Like drawings like this, like these snakes tangled together, almost a full year before my spiritual awakening really took off. And I think it's really fun going back to look at these sketchbooks because I get to see what kind of symbolism was working through me with some hindsight perspective. So I was working with a lot of plants and coming back to life and kind of connecting to like the spirit of life again. Maybe I say again, but really I was connecting to the spirit of life for the first time ever because I felt like I was kind of in this underworld state, the land of the dead, really. For most of my life, I just never really felt alive. I remember as a little kid sitting in our house, not really feeling alive, like feeling disembodied, like not believing that I was real. I had gone through so much trauma. It was just, I was separated from my body. I had an out-of-body experience as a little kid. And I didn't remember that experience until going through EMDR. And a lot of my 20s looked like reconnecting and putting myself back in my body. And then I'm still in my 20s. I'm 29 as I'm recording this. It has looked like getting right with my body. Some health things have come up. As I'm recording this, I found my first gray hair yesterday and just reckoning with what it means to be embodied and be embodied in a body that is getting older. And it's kind of a weird thing and something we'll talk about more later in different videos. But I would guess I was really using this heavily for a journal. Getting clear on vision, starting the idea of like your mindset creates your reality. What does my mindset look like? Why am I stuck in these mindset patterns of destruction and despair? I must have gotten cheese at this point because look at him, he's sleeping. He's sleeping. Currently he's sleeping behind me, and it's funny because he's sleeping and I put a background on a bunch of steaks because I think he would really like steaks. I started making ceramic planters. This was like right after I had jumped into being self-employed. And so I was like really flailing. I think I spent the first couple days of being self-employed painting and getting ready for craft fairs. I had been spending some time painting. I went to the Heard Museum. We went to Florida. We got to spend time with some friends and like travel, and I got to study some plants in the wild. And I don't know, copper's healing properties, kind of getting into like the metaphysical side of things. I think this is my plane ticket from Florida. No, I went to Chicago, and then I went to Milwaukee to visit my mom. Some monsoon action. I kind of low-key miss this era of drawing. There's a theme that keeps popping up is giving. What I'm seeing is that those who give generously have more. It might not necessarily be money, but I think it's worth trying. I think it's worth a try. It's definitely something that I'm not doing currently, and it's worth a try. I keep seeing it pop up in all sorts of places, so here really has to be something to it. I had an agenda with it, though. That's the thing. You can't have an agenda with generosity. I wanted to give so that I could receive money. That's not how that works. Because I was self-employed and I wanted money so bad. So we have the Milwaukee Brewers. Oh yeah, so my uncle had gotten box seats to a Milwaukee Brewers game, and we went and we ate some mad snacks and watched baseball. I low-key don't give a shit about sports, but it's fun to go. I'd rather go in person than go like watch it on TV. Could not care less about TV. Phoenix to Atlanta. I don't know what we were doing there, but we went to Atlanta. Oh, we went to Jamaica for Elaine and Lisa's wedding. That was fun. One of my first rodeos, Sand Hills Rodeo. Austin's parents are former team ropers. They retired this year. Lost Lake. Oh my gosh. So this is so fun. Austin and I did long distance for a little while. Like the first few months of our relationship, maybe the first like 8 or 9 months. So we would go back and forth visiting each other from Colorado to Phoenix. And before his October trip, apparently, he had sent me a box full of envelopes where I had to open an envelope each day. And then they were really cute, like honestly, like little love notes, because we were just like so young and in love, like when we first started dating, you know, how fun it can be. And so cute. At the end of it, he had gotten us tickets to go to this festival, and there we saw the Killers, we saw Odessa. Let's see if there's like a lineup. Playboy Man, baby. That was a local band. Haim, the Pixies, Chance the Rapper. That was really fun. Let's see. Yeah, the other lineup. I know the Killers were there. That was awesome. The Congos, that was fun. Lil Yachty was fun. Lil Jon was fun. Futuristic was fun. Odessa, Major Lazer, Big Gigantic, Snake Hips. I have yet to go back to a festival like this, truthfully, other than like 8123 Fest or Sad Summer Fest. But that just feels like going to visit like friends in a weird way, even though I'm not really friends with them. But, you know, it was really fun. We had a really good time. This was just like the year of Austin and I being young and dumb and in love and going and doing stuff. This is from the Milwaukee Art Museum. I suggest going there if you're in town. I think this is probably from when I got wrist surgery. Yeah. When I got my ganglion cyst removed. Oh, final critique for a teapot in ceramics, hand building, 1 and 2. I can't remember what I made. It must not have been that interesting. I have this piece of apatite somewhere. I went to Sedona and got it. What does it do? What's the energy of apatite? It was really cool. Like, if I can find it, I'm not gonna go and try and find it and show you. I don't really care. The stone of mental acuity, absorption of calcium, heals bones, teeth cartilage, suppresses hunger. overcomes mental exhaustion, aids in eating disorders and weight loss, helps recover past life memories, helps communication and self-expression on all levels, eases sorrow, apathy, and anger, stimulates inner vision and enhances psychic abilities, zone of manifestation, promotes humanitarian endeavors. All right, appetite. Do you think that's just because of the name? Everyone has the right to choose their own lifestyle. And a drawing. I'm just a whale. Well, that was sketchbook number 5. I'll see you in the outro. Thank you guys so much for watching. That was the video. That was the 5th episode of my sketchbook tour series. There's 11 episodes total, so there will be 6 more. If you'd like to follow along, I release one every single month, and I'll be releasing one every single month until the end of 2025, unless I die. Then I won't be releasing anymore. But then this channel won't really exist anymore. If you enjoyed that video, please like, subscribe, comment, whatever, you know, all the obligatory like YouTube-y things telling you what to do so that you can stay connected and help boost my video on the algorithm to make more people want to watch it. I have a link tree down below that has all of my offerings. I have a bunch of brand new jewelry that just came up from my last video, which was a mission, get it done. I am sitting in my jewelry studio as I record this. I had experienced a little bout of burnout that started a couple years ago and really just like really burnt, you know, everything within me. And I realized I needed a break. So I took a break for a little while, and I've been really realizing lately that I really like jewelry making and I want to go back to it, but less in the format of like business product focused, like making a lot of inventory, and more like process focused, because that's what it's about for me. Peter Fairy posted something on her Instagram a few weeks ago that had me really thinking about my art differently. And the quote was something along the lines of, make your art as if only your soulmate exists. And that really had me thinking, you know, my soulmate is going to care about the final product. They want high quality handmade things, but they're also interested in the process. They're interested in seeing how it was created, seeing where it came from. And I really enjoy that kind of content. I felt like for a long time I was forcing myself to make Instagram reels and TikToks and things that just didn't really resonate with me in order to fit into some kind of mold. Like I would look at Instagram and I would see successful jewelry makers, successful artists, and people selling their art on the internet. And I thought, I have to emulate that. I have to copy it, paste it, and make it work for me. And then the whole time it's feeling like a taser to my nervous system. It's not feeling authentic. It's not feeling aligned. Sitting down and talking to my camera, and then going to my house and going into an editing hole and cutting and slashing and rearranging and just sitting with it feels so good. I genuinely want to do it. If I stick with this and I keep posting and I still don't have 1,000 subscribers, I don't care. It's not about the numbers. It's not about the clout. Sure, it'd be cool to have sponsors who pay out big bucks. It would be really cool to be able to post a video and you guys buy my collections. Sure, I see that for myself in the long term, but where I'm at right now, I'm making these videos whether people watch them or not, because let me tell you something about witnessing yourself. It hurts. When I mentioned it a little bit in the beginning of this video about my healing journey, a big part of the wounding that I was carrying was stories around being seen. I remember having these periods of my life. I would have this journal that I would keep that was called the stop journal. Everything I told myself I needed to stop doing, stop talking, stop being seen. And I found it a few years ago reading through it, and it's so sad. Younger Sabina just didn't feel safe being seen. You know, you speak too much, and then you go home and you think about all the dumb things you said, and you cringe and you hate yourself, and you say, next time I'll be different. I'm not going to say a single thing. You know, that's really sad. I deserve to take up a little bit of space in this world and to have my voice be heard and to share myself openly with the world. And I think YouTube has been very healing for me in that. I haven't had a ton of viewers. I've had a few videos that do pretty well. I desire to sit down and be chatty, and I've received a couple hate comments about it, and it has me thinking, like, why do I take it so personally? Why does it hurt my feelings when people say I'm too chatty and I talk too much? Just get on with the video. Yeah, I could probably edit out some of the chatting. I'm still new in my craft with this. I'm still trying to figure out what kind of stories I want to tell and how I want to be, you know, present myself to the world. It's not up to me how you hear me and how you see me. But what I'm recognizing is that sitting down, giving myself space to speak, And then the editing process, I think, is where the real like transmutation happens. I watch myself speaking and sharing myself, and I view myself, and I don't always like what I see. I don't always like what I hear. And I have the choice to edit things out and not share every single word I speak on the internet. But by forcing myself to witness myself and hear myself and listen and really take in what I'm doing and saying, I'm becoming more and more comfortable with taking up space in the world, with sharing my voice, with being heard, being seen. I genuinely want people to hear me. I want people to see me. I wouldn't be posting this otherwise. The journey has been very healing for me. Forcing myself to be a witness to who I am and what I have to offer, and recognizing there's some value to this. Maybe if it's just me getting value from what I have to say, that's all it is. But I've seen some of your comments. I've seen some of the things you guys have said. And even if it's just one other person out there who watches my videos and is inspired to make their own art or knit their own sweater or open up a sketchbook and practice their drawing for the first time in 15 years, whatever it is, that's really the point of it. My point is to share myself, my personality, my brand, my art, all of it with you guys so that you may be inspired to do the same yourself. Maybe you buy my art and you want a little piece of what we're offering in your collection. That's cool, but at the very least you watch this video and you're just inspired to go make your own art. That is really what it's mostly about for me. I have decided, for me personally, I have devoted myself to the creative spirit. I live a devotional life to creativity and to creation. And in my intuitive nudges with that, I feel very led to create YouTube videos. I don't know why. It feels the best and most authentic of all of the social media platforms for me right now. And I want to inspire you to live a creative life. Maybe you make art, maybe you make jewelry. I don't know. That's none of my business. But I want you to be creative in how you define creativity, because it's not a one size fits all. Every single person who exists on this planet has the inherent ability to be creative in some special way. And you have to find out what that means for yourself. Even artists within the visual arts disciplines have different relationships with creativity, and it manifests in different ways. No two artists are exactly the same. No two creatives are exactly the same. And you have to figure that out for yourself. But I would like to give you courage to find out what that means for you. I would like to give you permission to look within and decide what kind of creativity inspires you, and to not feel ashamed to go after it with all of the audacity in your body. I don't know how, but I just keep showing up. I keep pressing record. I keep editing. And I keep uploading these damn videos, and maybe one day I'll have inspired one person to make some damn art, to feel something a little deeper. But until then, I don't know. That kind of stuff is it's none of my business how it ends up playing out. It is just my job to show up and make the damn thing. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being here and being willing to hold space with me. You know, you're not in the room with me, but I'm in the room with you. Okay, how's it feel? Please like, please subscribe, share it with a friend if you are inspired. And once again, if you would like to try Magic Mind and enhance your cognitive abilities with a tasty little treat in your afternoon snack rotation, try Magic Mind. I have a link down below. You can use the code SabinaJune50 to take 50% off your first subscription order or 20% off your first one-time order. And just give it a try, see if you like it. It doesn't have to necessarily be an everyday thing. It works better if you drink it most days. Bacopa does take a little bit of time to build up in your system to have like the most potent effects. But life is life. You still have to rest too. So enjoy yourself. If you feel called to try Magic Mind, use my link. It helps me out. Thank you so much for being here. And until next time, my friends. Wait, P.S. For those of you who are new here, this is Cheese. He's my best friend in the animal kingdom. Just a little update for you guys if you know him. He's still around. He's still kicking. And he's so happy and cute. And I love him. And I love him so much. And he loves me. And we're having a good time. And if you choose to stick around to be a part of this, you'll see more of him. He's kind of a whole personality around here. He's in most of my videos because he's such a personality. He's not a paid actor. He's just my friend. So, supporting me supports him. Thank you for being here. Goodbye for real this time. you.